what I'm going to do is I'm going to walk through this F unit project fundamentals, which is going to be our course assignment. Now, in order to do this, I'm going to take you first through our first program so you can build that successfully. For this first project, we're told to open up Visual Basic 2001 Express. Now, the first thing that happens is that you're going to have, the first time you run it, you're going to have a pop-up come up to tell you that you need to initiate it. The pop-up tells us that registration is required to continue using this project. So what I have to do is I have to click here, obtain a registration key online. When I do that, it takes me to Microsoft, sign on to your Microsoft account. Now, some people know that they have a Microsoft account and some don't. So if you don't have a Microsoft account, you can sign up now. Just click that. And then it will have you fill out a form. Once you have your account, you just put in your account. And then you just write your password. Click sign in. So once you've successfully logged in, then it'll ask you for some basic information. Postal code. Ask you for your role. You'll find student in this list. Then you put in here what language topics you're interested in. Because, you know, they're going to send you information to you. They're going to give you junk mail, all right? So you can put anything you want in here. How do you assess your overall programming skills? So you say beginner, intermediate, advanced. And I just answer their questions. And just click continue. And then what they'll do is they'll give you a registration key. So you copy that registration key and you just paste it into that hole for it and just click register now. So now if I press my start button, I'm likely to see it in the list. Click my start button, you can see Visual Basic 2010 is in the list. Otherwise, I may have to navigate there, so I press the start button. Then I click go to Visual Studio 2010 Express. And then I click the actual program, Visual Studio 2010 Express. So this page pops up and it asks you what you want. Well, I want a new project, don't I? So I click New Project. So now this window pops up. So now I make sure that Visual Basic is selected. And now I'm going to select a console application and click OK. So now you're going to notice that what automatically comes up is Module 1, Sub Main, End Sub, and End Module.
Visual Studio creates a new file with a name, Module 1, and you will see the window as shown.
So what you're going to do is obviously you're going to save your console application. So click your Save button. You go File, Save As. Then go find your project, go find your course folder. Call it something like My First Program. And then click the Save button.
I'm to write and compile a basic program. The objective of this program is to print Happy World. Before we start working with Visual Studio Express, let's take a look at the program and look at each line individually. Here, Module 1 is the program name, and submain is the entry point of the program. Dim is the keyword used to declare a variable. We declare a variable input, so the computer is directed to get the input from the user. The keyword console shows the computer where the output should be printed. In this case, it is a console. The write line with braces or parentheses is a method which tells the computer that the text between the parentheses or braces should be printed. This text has to be embedded within double quotes, or the computer will not recognize it. In the next line of the code, you store an input from the user in a variable input. Once the input is received, it runs through the conditional statement. If it is 1, it prints Happy World using the console.writeLine method. In the else case, it prints Go Away. The line console.readKey parenthesis is used to tell the program to get a key from the user. Later, try the code without using this line and find out what happens. End sub is the exit point of the program. End module is the end of the specific program. Now you're done analyzing the code. You'll write this into Visual Studio Express so you can run it.
Okay, so now since we've got our console application set up, what we're going to do is we're going to listen to the program instructions, which are a little bit different. And they're a little bit different because we have Visual Basic 2010, and the instructions are for Visual Basic 2008. Okay, the first thing we need to do is we need to come after our submain and click enter. And I'm going to declare my variable. So I'm going to go declare my variable dim with my variable input. As string. Then click as string. I can click this right here. Dim input as string, so I'm going to click enter. So now I'm going to get input from my from the person who's going to write into my program. I'm going to go console. Dot write line. Click that. And what am I writing? If you are happy, input 1. If not, input 2. And press enter key. So now I'm going to have my variable store whatever input the computer user put in. Put in input. Have it store console dot read line. See, we wrote line before, now we read line. And we put our parentheses. So now we can put in 1 or 2. So what do I need? I need an if-else statement, right? If he puts in 1, then do this. Otherwise, then do that. So let's put in our if statement. Okay, I'm going to put in here if input equals 1. Then, so what are we going to do? Console, right line, happy world. So now we put in our else statement. Else what? Console right line. This one was go away. So now I got to tell it to end my if statement. Then I got to put in your console read key. So that should be the end of my program. So now what do? I debug it, right?
Once you enter the code into Visual Studio, you must compile and execute the program. Visual Studio helps the user compile and execute the programs easily. To compile and execute the program, select the Debug menu and choose Start Debugging. The program immediately compiles and executes. The program requests the input from the user, as shown on the screen. You can enter the input and press the Enter key on your keyboard. Enter 1 and press Enter. The output, Happy World, will be displayed on the screen.
So now let me run this program. I'm going to click Debug. Just click Start Debugging. So it should build. It should read if you're happy, input 1, if not, input 2, and press Enter. So I click 1, and I click Enter. We have to start it again to see the other exception. So I can do that again. Debug, Start Debugging. If I put in 2, I should get go away. So there's your code. Now, if you got some if you had some errors, just go back in and make sure you have it exactly as it's written. Go back to your example and read it and correct your mistakes, okay? So now if you go into the Fundamentals Unit project, all right? So you're going to write a program. So you have 5 choices here to write what to write a program to do. Now I suggest that if you're pretty much a beginner, that you do something that's easy. So if you haven't done any program before, probably this is going to throw you a loop. So what I suggest, I'm coming back here into programming, I'm going to go back to 4. See, this is Unit 5 Fundamentals, all right? But if this is, you can do have a name program that prints your name and prints your favorite sports team. If you want to do this instead of that, if it's just too hard for you to do the other ones, that's fine by me. But I imagine that most of you will want to do one of these. Okay, I'm not going to ask you to do the write the code. I want you to choose one of the following 5 mathematical programs and just write me a program that will do one of these. Most of you do this. I know some of you who are brand new, just doing this for the first time, will probably want to do the assignment name program. So whether you decide to do the assignment name program or you decide to do 5, the unit project fundamentals, which is right here, you choose one of these. So basically you've got 6 options here of what to hand in to me in this project Dropbox, okay? So I know this is challenging to a lot of people, but I want you to be challenged because the more you do, the better you're going to get at this. And that's all I want you to do, is to get some practice in working this program, okay? All right, good luck to you.